Hello, Earth Angels. Welcome to another week of weekly readings with Samantha DeBrule. That's me. And we are still in the mountains of Los Gatos, California. And it's beautiful. I was looking for a sweet spot for good lighting for this video, and I was like, they don't even need to see me. They better see nature, because nature is so healing. I'm actually out here on a porch, and there's like a porch garden. I don't have to show you, but there's like squash and stuff, and all the bees are coming to pollinate and stuff. It's really incredible. And you'll hear the birds. I've been watching the scrub jays play and probably fight and battle for territory, or just look for food. And it's been healing. It's been great. So I'm so grateful and happy and honored to share it with you. This week I'm using my Osha Zen deck. It's one of my awesome favorite decks. It was probably the deck that resonated with me the most before I knew anything about the deck. Because once, when you're a reader and you get familiar with the pictures, you can kind of pull from, past readings and experience, while certain decks you are completely intuition driven. You don't need to really know anything about it because your intuition pulls everything out of the cards and gives it to you. So there's a few layers to reading, and this deck, I remember a good friend of mine gave it to me. He let me borrow his deck first, and he was like, I just need you to do a reading for me. I know this isn't your deck, but help me out. And I was like, oh, no problem. And of course, I asked permission over the deck to get that insight for this person, and it was powerful. So I used the deck and I was like, this is one of my favorite decks ever. It's a very emotionally, I feel, inspiring deck, because it really helps you to feel your way through life. And that is what I feel is super important for this week. As I was guided, I always meditate before I do these videos for you all. And this week I was guided to feel your way to the answer. So let's get started. I also brought the goddesses out today for added inspiration. You can never have too much divine guidance. So this week I'm going to pull for our strength. Spirit that I am, we are, help reveal what is our strength this week. That one right there. Please reveal the opportunities or obstacles we may experience for our personal growth. Shine the light on that for us. That's that one. And last but not least, what is worthy of our meditation to get deeper clarity and wisdom on. Oh goodness. It's like, hey, open your eyes. We're jumping out. All right. And let me pull the goddess card before I get into the reading, because I'm sure it's all going to tie in. I love how that happens. For those of you who have had personal readings for me, I may use different decks for the general spread and insight, but I always have you pull at least one goddess oracle card, and it's so funny because you pull it at the beginning, but I do the reading, and by the end, that is the exact card that ties the whole reading in. It's beautiful. So this week, goddesses, what do you want us to know? What is some added insight from your higher level of consciousness? Okay, there's two jumping out. So we'll look at that later. Okay, first, we initially pulled for our strength. Our strength is the Ten of Cups and harmony. I don't know about you guys, but if the forecast was super accurate for you last week, you're probably looking for some harmony in this week. So this is a beautiful strength and reminder that we ask Spirit to reveal to us what already exists within us. That is our strength this week. And this is the Ten of Cups, which is harmony. Ten of Cups is the emotions suit, the feeling suit, how appropriate this reading is. And the Ten of Cups is super fulfilling. All your 10 cups that you have are full. As the dolphins are kissing the third eye of this being representing us, it's talking about our divine harmony and foresight, and emotional balance with all that is. Dolphins are highly intuitive beings here on Earth. They teach us a lot if we pay attention to them. They also remind us of playfulness, because sometimes we take life incredibly too seriously. There are some really important things to pay attention to in life, but sometimes we can get really caught up in the details and forget that we're here to play and experience. So, thank you, angel spirit that we are, for revealing our strength through harmony. Our obstacle or opportunity, which is always our perspective choice. So, what do we have here? Ordinariness. The lighting's kind of challenging. This is the 8 of Earth suit. Oh my goodness. Kind of interesting to see how this picture just kind of blends right into the background of my life right now, which we are all connected and are connected to this. So it's as if you are all here with me, and we are experiencing it through the web of consciousness. So, just plant this card. I'll just pull it right out of the painting of life. And the 8 of Earth suit is related to the material world, or the world as we see through form, as opposed to feeling in the other card. And hi, Wilbur. I'm going to be a part of the reading too. Anyway, the 8 of Ordinariness is reminding us that we have an abundant world, and we, through the art of perspective and opening our eyes, we can see what we often look past as ordinary and see how extraordinary it really is. Because we are reflected in everything around us. Our true essence, our being, our truth, we can see anywhere and everywhere. Life is mirroring us. Nature has a beautiful, it's almost, to me, less of a mirror and more of a window into spirit. But we have to be open to be able to see through that window. So, where people often are mirrors to us, and we're like, oh, I either love this mirror, or I'm like, oh, this mirror is not, it's humbling. Nature is a window, so it's like we can see our true self in nature. So this week our opportunity, our obstacle is, dismantling the fantasy and seeing the true beauty or the extraordinariness in what we see often as just ordinary. Beautiful, beautiful reading. And our last card, well, next to last card, is our meditation. This card is amazing. It's a card, let's see if I don't know how to shine light on that a little bit better. Woo, there we go. This is the Mind card. This is the Knight of Air in this deck. And the fact this is our meditation card is saying that our minds are going to be busy this week. But to meditate upon that is the ultimate healing. I know that this is really appropriate for me, even though I'm super, Zen most of the time. We still, it's human to have thoughts, or super empathic people like myself will just be a huge sponge to other people's thoughts. We don't have enough thoughts of our own, because we meditate them, in a Zen place. So we just pick up everybody else's and transmute it to healing. But this card is a reminder that the busyness of our mind can be healed through meditation, in the placement that we pulled it today. So are you experiencing extra anxiety, maybe restlessness? Meditate on that. In this card, I know the lighting is really hard to see, but there's these little chimney stacks, or it almost can look like dynamite, in the mind, with all these machines and mechanisms and an open mouth. There's lots of this talking and this chatter, and it feels very restricted from the neck up, meaning it's like tightness in the chest and busyness in the mind. And this is the human condition for the most part. We're always thinking of the next thing. How can we do it? Where can we go? How can we get this from that? And this is a beautiful offering from Spirit to remind us that we can meditate our minds. Hi, little busy bee. Sorry, nature loves me and I love nature. But we can either work really hard with our minds and be a super busy little bee, or we can meditate it to peace. Our thoughts are important and super powerful, and it's when we slow them down that we can actually see which thoughts to nourish into a powerful reality and which ones are just distracting us from who we are. So, meditation. It's powerful, it's super powerful. Okay. And then these are our goddess guidance, which we always need them. And I'm so glad I pulled them. I love you, goddess, goddess, goddess. I love you. And I love that you are reflecting all these back to us, which these qualities exist within us. Kuan, the goddess mother of compassion, and Mary Magdalene, unconditional love. Kuan tells us to release judgments about yourself and others and focus on the love and light that is within everyone. And it's funny because Mary Magdalene's pretty much saying something similar. She says, love yourself, others, in every situation, no matter what the outward appearances may be. Are you finding it difficult to accept those around you? Maybe you feel like, if you're intuitive and really open, you might feel like people are sleepwalking through life and this is hard for you. Perhaps there's just some people around you that don't get you. And Mary Magdalene often comes up in my readings when I have clients or myself where I'm feeling misunderstood by those around me and I don't know how to communicate with them. And she comes up and she just says, love them, forgive them, for they do not see the light within you because they can't quite see the light in themselves yet. And Mary Magdalene was often understood in a lot of the stories about her. But it was one of those, what comes through with this is what other people think of you is none of your business. So, in the spirit of Mary Magdalene, love yourself and others, no matter what the outward appearances may be. And you shine that light, and it says a lot more on getting people to not only understand you, but to understand life and us being here. I was really, really grateful for this message. And then Kuan, the goddess mother of compassion. I've channeled a lot of goddesses in my experience here in this lifetime, and Kuan was probably one of the more challenging to open up because it is this tenderness that's so tender and almost so vulnerable. And we open to this really soft spot that is the heartbeat of the universe. And that is what Kuan teaches us, and it's the ultimate compassion. And it's through that compassion that we're all connected. And so when we're denying parts of ourselves, we got all these doggies loving us. Which dogs are the ultimate example of unconditional love. Isn't that right, guys? She reminds us that compassion is the healer. And not only compassion to others, but to compassion to ourselves, because sometimes we will disconnect ourselves from society, from others, and that's not so bad to tap out, to tap back in, but to make sure you're doing it in a loving way, not in an avoidance way. And she's sitting in this beautiful lotus, which also reminds me that, lotuses have their roots deep in the mud. But sit there floating in almost this gravity-free openness on the water. So dig your roots deep and open your heart up and find where you can practice compassion more this week. And also, if you're feeling stressed at all and things aren't necessarily going your way, which I feel this week is going to be a harmonious one, but if you find those thoughts creeping in, practice service. Service is great. And sometimes my best way of, if I'm like, why aren't things going my way today? What is not working out for me? I go, this isn't about you. Let's serve. And then I find someone that I can do a kind deed to, and trust me, even in some very light populated areas, you can find at least someone or something to serve or be kind to. And that is how we heal ourselves and humanity. So, thank you for being here, all of you tapping in from wherever you are. I wish you a super harmonious week, as Spirit has told us that is available to us. And I hope you open your eyes and your third eye to see what is extraordinary and what we often bypass as ordinary. You live in an abundant world. We live in an abundant world. Let's open our hearts and our eyes to see that. Have a beautiful week, and I'll see you next time. Bye.